Hey guys, it's Steph from Hot and Moving. So Max Kellerman is coming back officially in boxing capacity. Gonna be part of the team covering the Canelo Alvarez and Crawford fight. That's gonna be, I believe that fight's gonna be on Netflix. For September, yeah, broadcast team on September 13th. Okay, man. Man, I've missed Max Kellerman, man. I know, Max Kellerman is just one of those guys in the media where people are definitely divided on him. But he had as much haters as he had an equal amount of supporters. Kind of similar to Stephen A. Smith, right? People didn't like Max Kellerman for a lot of his wild sports takes. One of his one of his sports takes that he always planned to die on was Brady falling off the cliff. He's backed off of that. And it's and look, we know, so that's one of his wild takes. So people stuff like that, people get irritated. Some of his LeBron takes, people definitely think he's a massive LeBron supporter. And we know the relationship ended with Stephen A. Smith, wanted him off of First Take. Okay, so a few months ago, I did talk about him coming back. I just didn't know what capacity. Apparently, I thought he'd be back right before the end of 2024, early into 2025. But whatever that report at the time was potentially like a podcast or something like that. Forgot what it was, but basically coming on TV or coming back in some major form of media. And we didn't really hear much after that, right? Things just kind of went quiet. And then funny enough, now he is back to boxing. That's his roots. Okay, he's covered, I know he's covered on HBO. I'm not sure if he's covered boxing on Showtime as well. But we know Max Kellerman is a big fan of boxing, his boxing acumen, knowledge. And overall, I've always liked his sports takes, though, honestly. Like, even when I disagree, I like the fact that he was always passionate about his sports takes, and willing to die on it, so to say, right? Whether I agree with it or not, I always thought it was he always added an interesting dynamic to the sports conversation. You know what I'm saying? I mean, kind of how, I'm not going to compare him to Bill Simmons, but you know how Bill Simmons will have some of these wacky sports takes, but people still like him out there. You still watch it even if you disagree. Max was kind of in that Bill Simmons, Colin Cowherd, Nick Wright-ish umbrella of guys that are definitely polarizing, but I feel like they can also change their mind too, and give unique takes here and there. A very unique group that I'll put him in. So it's good that he's back with boxing. Hopefully this will set something up for him to do something long-term outside of boxing. But I mean, he has been gone for 2 years after being laid off. I don't know if it was about budget cuts at the end of the day when I think about it, considering the amount of new talent that ESPN has hired and brought on. And expanded their programming. So like that 2-year layoff coming from Disney, all that stuff, and Max kind of being one of them, and they let a lot of good faces off ESPN, or faces that I did like, go. And they, re-upped with Stephen A. and brought in Shannon Sharp at one point and got Pat McAfee, that contract deal he got. You know what I'm saying? So I guess it just didn't work out for Max, and he was on another show after First Take, didn't work out. So maybe this 2 years off of him, give him time to think and how he wants to navigate his career. I love his boxing coverage, whether it's HBO, Showtime, or any of these other private streaming houses that do the fight. I'm excited for it to be on there, but always enjoyed Max. I think he's great. And also too is like, going forward, what could he do? Would he be back on TV, or would he be back? Would he have his own podcast of some sort? I know the demand for Max Kellerman to be on other people's platforms is going to be big, in my opinion. Going to be big, and I don't think he'll talk about it. I think he's moved on, but I think people will also be very fascinated to kind of hear his side of how things went down at ESPN. I know many people have spoke up for him. Marcellus Wiley, one of his good friends, has talked about the situation, but I don't think Max will, but I definitely think that if he's going to make a splash, him talking about the situation that went down at First Take, I think he'll have a lot of supporters in agreement and would love to hear what he would have to say. I don't think he'll do it. I think it'd be great TV, but if he doesn't want to bring it up and he's moving on, this is a great start for him in boxing, what he loves to do. And we'll look forward to seeing what he does next after this, man. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe. I'm back.